Obama has touched down in the Midwest yet again for another speech on the current state of the economy. Today, the U.S. president visited Cleveland, Ohio, where he delivered a speech calling to rebuild America's infrastructure and give tax breaks that will lead to new jobs. So what can we make of the president's financial plans as this country's unemployment rate still hovers at almost 10%? Well, joining me to help discuss this is Gerald Celente, director of the Trends Research Institute. So, Gerald, President Obama has talked a lot about spending, especially on infrastructure. Now, we've heard a lot about the second stimulus, which seems politically an impossible thing to pass. But is President Obama essentially making a second stimulus without actually saying it and passing it?
No, this was just a campaign speech. I watched it closely. People should really understand what's going on. When was his last speech? And where was it? Oh, it happened to be in Ohio, one of those swing states. So it was really nothing more than that. And it was just filled with rhetoric. His plans are lightweight at best. And I want to show you really the crux of what was going on here. Some of the things that he said in the past and what he just said now. This is from a trend alert that we put out on February 27th, 2009, following Obama's first address to the nation. We wrote, Obama said, "We will recover," says Obama. We said, "No, he won't," said Celente. "We won't recover." Obama said, quote, "We will rebuild, we will recover, and the USA will emerge stronger than ever." Then today he says, "Not everything we did worked as quickly as we hoped." How about everything you did failed? How about throwing $800 billion plus out there didn't do the job? And now you're asking for more money? And there's another big lie in this. He's railing on the Republicans for not having any support and the gridlock. No, no, no. He got his stimulus. He got his health care. He got what he wanted. And what he didn't say was where the money pit is really draining the country.
Right, but Gerald, President Obama also said that this kind of spending won't add to the national debt, and he also spoke about tax breaks today. I mean, wouldn't that be great for the economy?
What he said was that he was going to pay for this by closing up those loopholes. Hey, how about closing them up anyway? You know, the way these big corporations cheat and steal, they call them loopholes. That's white shoe boy talk. He should be closing them up anyway. And what he also said, and this is what I was referring to, the one thing he didn't mention, but he just rushed through it. He's going to cut back on government spending, except in one place: national security. Draining the Treasury, the trillions of dollars that's being spent by fighting in these foreign entanglements. That's not ending. So what it is, it's, as I said, this is just a campaign speech, and for people to remember also that he supported the Bush policies of TARP and the bailouts. So it's again, November's coming up, he's back in Ohio, and boy, does he give a great campaign speech.
And Gerald, you know, as you just pointed out, he does talk a lot about how he's committed to government budgeting and fiscal responsibility. But, you know, how will that help if there's no economic growth? I mean, how can the economy get better without spending money?
Oh, it can get better very easily. First of all, beginning in Washington and statewide, no more, just cut down these, you know, these lawmakers are making too many laws. They don't have to be on the job as much. We can also start taxing the other people that aren't paying taxes. Like all these religious organizations with something to sell and pretending to give a lot, they're getting a free ride. As Jesus Christ said, render unto Caesar what's Caesar's. Let them pay their fair share. And all these nonprofits and all these other loophole organizations that are taking a free ride. Yeah, and then he said, you know, he's going to tax the rich. Guess what? $250,000 a year income in the United States today doesn't make you rich. If you're going to tax the Buffetts, tax the Gates, tax the Rockefellers, tax the multi-billionaires, and give the rest of the people a break.
And you know, Gerald, you pointed out that he probably went to Ohio for political reasons, seeing that, you know, November is coming up soon. But, you know, I'm curious, why does he continue to travel to places where so many plants and factories have been shut down and, you know, people have been laid off? Why not travel somewhere where something's actually happening if he's going to say that the economy is bouncing back?
Where's he going to go? Washington? That's the only place it's happening where they're creating more jobs. So he's going there to show, you know, that he's for the people. Again, it's just campaign talk. Remember Obama in Ohio during the 2008 campaign? What was he talking about? How he was going to restructure NAFTA so that our jobs wouldn't be flying overseas, and he hasn't done anything. You want to know how the economy could turn around? Put back in the laws in place that worked before, that the Clintons, the Obamas, and the Bushes have dismantled so effectively.
Right.
The laws like the Glass-Steagall, the laws on world trade and free trade.
Well, you know, Gerald, it definitely seemed to be sort of a flashback seeing President Obama talking about the economy yet again in Ohio today. We appreciate your passion as always. That's Gerald Celente, Director of the Trends Research Institute.